Taking a look at today's interest rate markets, let's take a look at the 10-year note futures as they're realizing a little bit of upside pressure here. For a second day in a row, we're seeing the 10-year futures bouncing a little bit higher. Nothing too pronounced, but nonetheless, we are seeing a reversal of the trend that was lower, really, for the past almost 2 weeks. So a little moderation here and a little bit of upside price action. We're looking at the futures market at 130.21 currently. So again, in the middle of the recent range, really, when you look at the general trends within the 10-year note futures. And I think when you look at some of the driving factors today, really it has to do with some of the digestion, I think, of some of the data points that we did get yesterday. We had several data points that had a bit of an influence on the market. Certainly the retail sales numbers over the weekend were very positive. But it didn't necessarily impact the Treasury markets too significantly, and certainly the market's still eyeballing the potential economic impact of the Omicron variant. But so far, the trends have been relatively, I think, below the forecast as far as the potential impact, and we are seeing, restrictions not necessarily being rolled out at the rate that I think the market had anticipated just a couple weeks ago. So that still is yet to be determined as we move into 2022, but currently we are seeing, I think, some moderation here as the markets are digesting several of these news items, the data points, and as we head towards the end of the week, we're going to get limited data points. So again, the market it appears to be finding an equilibrium here. There is a little bit of movement along the curve, though. I do want to point that out. When you look at the 10-year note yield right now, we're looking at 148 basis points, so basically unchanged on the day, maybe just down just so slightly. The shorter end of the curve, we're seeing a little bit more upside and some pressure on yields, drifting a little bit lower. But the back end of the curve, interesting enough, is actually selling off today. So we're looking at the 20s and 30s lower on the session, and those yields shifting a little higher. So across the board today, we are seeing a slight shift in the yield curve higher as we move from the shorter durations out to the long dated durations.